So I know yesterday absolutely sucked for Boston fans, but I do want to show this play from Chris Sale because while the game was horrible, I mean, at least this was a cool moment, right? What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. If this is your first time on the channel, we do this every single day, so don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, as well as save yourself 20 bucks off. Use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek if you're going to any baseball games anytime soon. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has been a monster for the entirety of 2021, but Marcus Semien might be the true MVP of the Blue Jays. The Red Sox, like we mentioned, they suffered their worst loss maybe in the last decade, and Bryce Harper, he's at it yet again. So just like Boston fans, yesterday was not the best of days for Mets fans, even though the game started off pretty good. You have Pete Alonso knocking in his 80th RBI of the year, but then Juan Soto, he answers back and ties it up on an RBI ground out. Then you have Jeff McNeil and Lane Thomas trading RBIs back and forth until Pete Alonso smacks his 30th tater of the year, and he gives Edwin Diaz a lead. Just unfortunately, Edwin left the building yesterday and enters Edluz Diaz. Stevenson ties it up. He has been a thorn in the side of the Mets this entire year, and then Keyboom walks it off as Francisco Lindor, he's not able to corral this baseball, and Javier Baez wasn't on the base, so the double play was never going to happen. So yeah, the Mets, they fall 4-3 to the Nationals. I thought they had this one in the bag because Edwin, I mean, aside from the last game, he's been pretty good this year. I mean, do they dare put Brad Hand in the closer spot? Imagine if that happened. The Cubs faced off against the Reds yesterday, and the Cubs had a 6-game winning streak on the line, and Ian Happ, he kept his hot streak going. He hits a 3-run moonshot to bring his OPS plus up to 90. The last time that we talked about him, he was upset because he's always been a 100 or above OPS plus guy, so he's always been above average, but the last time we talked about him, he was at 85. So slowly but surely, he is finally creeping back up to that 100 mark. Sonny Gray dominated the game after giving up that home run to Ian Happ, and Justin Steele was very solid for the Cubs up until a scary ninth inning when the Reds score a few on some bad baseball, a hit by pitch, and then a wild pitch. Max Schrock, he doubles in Eugenio Suarez to tie it up, but Frank the Tank, he does it yet again. I can't believe what this guy has been able to do. He tried his best to go the other way, and he did. So he drives in the game-winning RBI as Adam Morgan saves it, and the Cubs, just a few weeks after I said they're the worst team in baseball, have now won 7 games in a row. So again, if you need me to call out any team or player, let me do it, and they'll automatically become the best player or team in baseball. The Phillies faced off against the Brewers yesterday, and this was an emphatic statement game because the Phillies have yet to lose to the Brewers this entire year as Bryce Harper demolishes a 430-foot nuke. He has 28 home runs already on the year. And just like Bryce Harper, Freddie Galvis has a home run in back-to-back games. Then Bamboo Brad Miller hits one to space to the second deck over in right field. Zach Wheeler was not the best in the month of August, so he has to bounce back, and he does, throwing 6 shutout innings on 9 punchies, does not walk a single hitter. Andrew McCutchen hits his 24th home run. The Phillies score a few more, and then Gene the hit machine, Mr. Segura, hits a grand slam. He has a 118 OPS plus and a 3.7 WAR on the season. Very underrated. People need to talk about him a little bit more. Brad Miller secures his 2nd home run of the day, and the bullpen shoves it as the Phillies improve to 5-0 against the Brewers. The Brewers. So the Phillies have been making some noise lately. They're still 2 games back of the wild card, but in their division, they're only 1.5 games back of the Braves. So because the Reds and the Mets both lost yesterday, we'll talk about the Cardinals later on as well. Reds are 1 game back of the Padres, and then as you guys can see, the Mets and the Cardinals, they're 3.5, 4.5 games back. I know the Boston Red Sox took a pretty hefty L yesterday against the Rays, but my goodness, the Yankees, they have nothing to be proud of from yesterday's performance either. The Yankees got spanked by Marcus Semien, who blasted off for home run number 37, and Vladdy Jr. ropes his 40th home run of the year. He is the youngest in Toronto franchise history with 40 home runs. He also has a 172 OPS plus, so he has been the best hitter, but maybe all around it still goes to Marcus Semien. More on him later. Jin Ryu made the Yankees their lunch, and then he dropped them off at school because he was their daddy yesterday. 6 shutout innings, did not walk a single hitter, and had 6 strikeouts. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. drives in another RBI. Teoscar Hernandez belts his 25th home run, and Marcus Semien made me say what the F because I thought the highlights were going to be done with after that Teoscar home run. But Marcus hits a grand slam, so he now has 37 home runs, 87 RBIs, 14 stolen bases, a 133 OPS plus, which is a lot lower than Vlad, but he has 10 defensive run saves and a 6.1 WAR, which is higher than Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So if you're a Jays fan, let me know in the comment section down below. Who would you give the team MVP to? Robbie Ray, Marcus Semien, or Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? All right, I'm sorry, Boston fans, but let's get this game underway. Wander Franco, I want to talk about this. He triples early in the game as he ties Mickey Mantle of one of three 20-year-olds in baseball history to have a 36-game on-base streak. The record is 43 games by Hall of Famer Frank Robinson. I mean, when you're in the conversation of Mickey Mantle and Frank Robinson, you know you're onto something. Wander Franco is so special. And then he scores on a single from Nelson Cruz. Now, the Red Sox, they must have seen red and got angry because they rallied for 7 runs in the first 2 innings. And then Alex Verdugo, I'm not sure if the ball got lost in the sun, but he botches this, and Nelson Cruz scores on a Little League inside the park home run. So 4-run score, and that is just horrible. Jordan Luplow and Randy Arozarena driving a few, and Nelson Cruz has been heating up. So it is 9-8 going into the 9th. And speaking of Little League home runs, no way this actually happened. Austin Meadows hits an inside the park home run to tie up the game, and Alex Verdugo got zero help from the left fielder or right fielder. I'm not sure why they weren't backing him up. The shortstop, Jose Iglesias, who just got there this morning, had to grab this ball. So the Rays, they get 2 in the 11th, and in my opinion, if we're going back to the last 5, 6, 10 years, that loss to the Rays might have been the worst for the Red Sox that I've seen in quite some time. Now, luckily, the Mariners did lose, so the Yankees and the Red Sox did not lose any ground for the wild card. But the Astros, I mean, they're proving to be a very, very good team. Abraham Toro boots it and allows 2 runs to score. And Jake Myers, where did this guy come from? A 3-run bomb. He now has 4 home runs and a 131 OPS plus in 28 games. Yordan Alvarez doubles in Altuve for his 90th RBI. And then Myers grabs his 4th RBI of the day in the 5th inning as Altuve racks in an RBI in the 5th as well. McCullers is able to work around 4 different walks. He goes 6 innings on 7 strikeouts as Kyle Tucker, his 2 RBI double, gives him a 4 WAR on the season, so he has been terrific. Alex Bregman drives in an RBI, and Marwin Gonzalez, I forgot that he was back on the Astros. He starts a double play in the 8th, and the Astros remind the Seattle Mariners who is their daddy. So the AL wildcard is shaping up like this. The Yankees and the Red Sox both take the L. The Jays are on a 5-game winning streak, so they are now tied with the Mariners at 3 games back of the wild card. The A's have lost 3 games in a row, so they're now 3.5 games back of the wild card, and it's just, I don't know how this is going to end. The Dodgers faced off against the Cardinals yesterday, and Mookie Betts drove in the first run of the game, and then Justin Turner makes it 2-0 on a double play, and CT3, Chris Taylor, he has been slumping as of late, so this 2-run home run better be huge for his confidence because they're going to really need him going into the playoffs. Corey Seager knocks in Mookie Betts, and Max Scherzer said, I got this. He absolutely shoved it. 8 innings, did not allow a single earned run. Speaking of not allowing anything, no walks on 13 strikeouts, and his season stat line is lowered to a 2.28 ERA. He has a 12.3 strikeouts per 9 and a 13-4 record. I know a lot of people don't care about wins and losses, but that's really good. So who do you have in the Cy Young Award race? Do you have Scherzer, Buehler, Corbin Burns, Woodruff? I know I'm probably forgetting someone. Who do you have? The Giants offense showed up yesterday. Darren Ruff might be the biggest leadoff hitter not named Kyle Schwarber in all of baseball. 6'2", 240. He goes yard as Buster Posey hits an Oppo Taco for his 17th home run. He now has a 306 batting average and a 144 OPS plus, which is huge for his Hall of Fame case. Thairo Estrada hit his 5th home run of the year as Kevin Gausman also knocks in an RBI. I think this was on a bunt. Thairo then comes back with his 6th home run. He has a 111 OPS plus, which is very solid for a role player. Darren Ruff turns on the burners for an RBI triple, and Dubon drives in 2 more as Gausman, he was pretty solid. 9 strikeouts in 7 innings. Now, he did allow 3 runs, but San Francisco, they're still 1 game ahead of the Dodgers for first place, and I just want to show this. Trevor Story hit a 466-foot bomb in this game. Moving on over to a game that did not make me happy. It kind of ruined my night because I went over to watch it with my grandfather. Byron Buxton and Jorge Polanco pretty much single-handedly won this game yesterday for the Twins. Ref Schneider, he knocks in both of those guys after they get on in the first. And then Polanco hit his 27th home run of the year. And then Fred Mill matches that with his 27th home run. So he is hitting 326 with 5 home runs over his last 12 games. Byron Buxton, he's able to turn on an outside fastball and pull it for his 11th home run of the year. I was kind of happy for him because I'm a big Byron Buxton fan. Then you have Luis Arraez putting the game out of reach. Jorge Polanco went 4 for 5 with 3 doubles and a home run. He has a .355 batting average with 14 doubles, 15 home runs, and 40 RBIs in the second half. He's been a machine. The Pirates faced off against the Tigers. Kevin Newman starts the game with a 2-run shot in the first, and Brian Hayes makes a Cirque du Soleil catch in the sixth. He was bobbling it, but he does make the play. Nico Goodrum, he ties it up on a 2-run double, and Miguel Cabrera, Miggy, actually gives the Tigers the lead on a sac fly, but it didn't last that long. As Cabrera, he might be waking up. He drives in 2 RBIs on the single, which brings his OPS plus to 90, which is still below average. He's kind of been disappointing this year, I'm not gonna lie. Yoshi Sasugo continues to be Ruthian with 7 home runs and 15 RBIs in 20 games, and Bednar for the Pirates, he strikes out the side for the save, and he has a sub-1 ERA over the last 2 months, so if you're a fantasy nerd, keep his name in mind going into 2022. The Rangers shut out the Angels yesterday. DJ Peters bloops one into no man's land for an RBI, and Yanni Hernandez singles in Pozo, and AJ Alexy, look at this stat line. 5 shutout innings and 1 hit in his debut last week, and then he followed it up yesterday by going 6 shutout innings on also just 1 walk. He is the first rookie in the modern era to ever do that. Jose Trevina takes care of the insurance runs on RBI base hits in the 7th and the 9th. So Texas on a nice little 2-game winning streak. And then last but not least, Royals versus the Orioles. Kansas City was shut out by Zach Lothar for the first 4 innings until Hanser Alberto homers versus his former team. Mullins grabs the lead back on his 26th home run officially on a 30-30 watch. He has 26 home runs, 26 stolen bases. Salvador Perez knocks in his 103rd RBI, and Benny Bicep singles in a run to take the lead and then saves it with a catch over in left field. That does it for today's MLB recap. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. Save yourself 20 bucks off if you're going to any baseball games. Use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
And it corks.
Oh! Out 2-0 to Witten. Into center field. Did he? Yes! His 4th home run of the game. On the ground. Counsell. And there it is! Trevor Hoffman! A milestone number 600!